Creating a winning experience, a customer experience. You go into a restaurant, you get your table, you get your menus, you order your food and you start eating. What's the usual scenario? The waiter will ask at your table, "Is everything good?" Or they ask at the end when you're finished with your meal and there really isn't much they can do about it, and you leave a semi-satisfied customer. There was an article about a New York couple and their restaurant experience. As usual, they walk in, get their table and their menus, order their food, get their food, and start eating. Once they finish eating, the waiter walked up to their table and asks, "Was everything good?" A little bit late, don't you think? They've already finished their meal. But the couple answered, "No, it wasn't good. It was actually so much better than good. It was the best meal we've ever had." The waiter said, "I'm so happy that you were so happy. I will treat your meal. You do not have to pay." What? It's usually the complaining customer that gets the free stuff, but this waiter flipped the script. When a customer has a good experience, they will often tell up to 5 people, and if their experience was bad, they will tell 10 to 15 people, or now let their fingers do the talking, post it online, reaching thousands of customers. The couple in this story told a few friends, and then a reporter got a hold of the story. Then someone shared it in her TED Talk, and now I'm sharing this story with you. And hopefully you can take it back and share this with your staff. This experience has reached thousands of people, but this presenter was encouraged by her son, who had also heard this story more times than he wanted. He asked her to do the same thing at her work. Now she works for Scandinavian Airlines, and a free meal is much different than a free flight. But she decided to stop with the excuses, take the courage, and just do it. She looked up the emails of happy customers, called one of them, and learned more about their experience. She then offered to pay for their flights. It's amazing. What do you think the ripple effect of that was? Positive for sure. Now, I'm not suggesting you hand out free meals or plane tickets, but I do encourage you to consider your circumstance, because every circumstance is different. But think of ways you can reward your happy customers and see what the ripple effects may be. Our customers can be our best marketers. Word of mouth is a powerful tool that can help or hurt our business. So let's talk about how we can create a winning customer experience, leaving our customers raving and providing us opportunities for the win-win scenario. Customer experience begins before they enter the store. Customers do their research. Think about it. When you want to find something new or learn something new or find where to go, what do? I do a Google search. What do you want your customer to know? What experience is your customer having? And what does your online presence say about your store? Now stop the audio recording and pull out your phones and Google map your store. Let's see what your potential customers are experiencing. Go ahead. Hopefully this is what you will see, something similar to this. Do you like what you see? Here are a few of the essential things a customer would like to see. The address, store location, the map, the directions, the store hours, a description of your store, and even a website link. Videos, pictures, and your star rating. What about your reviews? Do you feel that gut in your stomach when you hear the word reviews? We've all had those negative experiences, but hopefully today we can have a mind shift to see that those reviews can be positive opportunities for growth. As the store owner, you are responsible to ensure this information is there and updated, or at least take ownership to assign someone and ensure they know it's their responsibility to make sure all things are correct and updated. Each of you have access to your store's Google My Business account. If you're not using it and don't think you have access, send an email to the marketing department and they will resell the email invitation that has currently been sent. How active are you at updating, posting, and responding to the reviews? It's a great time to get started. It's simple. If you can post to Facebook, you can manage your Google page. So now here's some homework. Take your Google Business or your Google Maps and drive from your location to your store. Does it take you to the front door, or does it take you to the corner, or to the business down the street? You can get into your Google Business page and move that pin so it will take them to the very front door of your store. It's the little difference in details that make all the difference. Let's check your Facebook and Instagram and see the same. Your homework continues. Check out your Facebook and your Instagram page. Does it represent the K2K brand? And what impressions are your customers getting from the quality and consistency of your Facebook page and your Instagram pages? I don't want to go into depth too much because there are other presentations that will discuss content management and creativity, but I do want you to see the connection between your social media and your customer service. Does your page represent the K2K brand? There is value in keeping consistent cover and profile photos. If you want these changed, please contact the marketing department and they will be happy to offer options that you can choose from. This is to help us keep consistency throughout our brand, which is different than our competitors. Are you consistently posting relevant content? Does it bring value to your followers and your customers? How well are you promoting the product within your store, both new and used? I am so impressed with all the posts and videos and the content a lot of the stores are creating. Keep up the great work. How strong is your Cash for Kids message? The marketing department has provided a lot of wonderful graphics that you can use. Please take advantage of this and post within your feeds, but then also on your stories. Keep using these if you don't have anything else, but I also challenge you to create your own, keeping consistent with the brand. Now, if these tasks seem too daunting and time-consuming, consider signing up for BMS. They help with all of this and monitor your Facebook and your Google business pages. What does your About section show? Does it show accurate hours? In preparation for this video, I noticed one of the stores were closed, but it was the middle of the day. So I called her up right away. She was furious, which I don't blame her. It's an easy mistake to make when you change your hours for weather or holiday closures. Take the time to double check to ensure that your hours are correct. Check it weekly if you have to. We have found a direct connection between stores that have a strong online presence and seeing consistent increase in sales. Now let's talk about Facebook Recommends. Facebook has made changes to the Reviews tab. If you'll notice, the 4.3 rating is based on how many people recommend or don't recommend your page on Facebook, as well as any past star rating and reviews that you may have had. Once again, who is making sure someone is responding to these reviews and recommendations? And I love to see that other stores are adding positive reviews to other stores. How about your Google reviews and your star ratings? Once you're in your business page, this is what it will look similar to. Notice the different options to post. They've made it very user-friendly. You can see your performance. You can add photos into several different places. You'll see your star rating and reviews. If you click on the reviews in the left column, you will be able to see all of your reviews. Reviews you have replied to, ones you haven't replied to yet. Check this often. Do you have that someone that's assigned to take responsibility for these reviews? You'd be shocked how many stores I see this message: you haven't replied to any reviews. What is that telling your customer or our potential customers? Let's find ways to turn our bad reviews into opportunities. A great example of this was Nate Blankenship from Uptown Hilliard. He had a very bad review left on his Google page with a 1-star rating. We don't have the original to show you because this customer went back in and changed her review after Nate spoke with her. Nate closely monitors his reviews. Once he saw this review, he spoke with his staff, gathered all the information needed before contacting her. When he spoke with her, he also responded and posted a reply to the review. Then he had the manager call his customer and apologize, taking full responsibility. This customer went back in and changed her review. This is a great example of turning bad reviews into opportunities. So, we want to monitor our reviews. Set your notifications to alert you when a review has been left on your page. Respond to these reviews. This can help build your customers' trust. You can reply using My Google Business app or opening on the home page. When responding to the reviews, you want to be nice. Don't give personal attacks. Be authentic in your replies. Show customers you hear them and that you care. Assess and evaluate the feedback. Make sure you have all the facts of the situation. Educate your customers. Teach your customers and your potential customers as you explain store guidelines. Keep in mind what information will be relevant to all customers versus that specific customer. Urge them to contact you to talk more about what happened. Continue the discussion offline if necessary. And show professionalism. Word your reply to ease the potential customer's worries or hesitations. When responding to reviews, find the balance between informing them and keeping it real and authentic. Shauna with Atascocita has given great feedback to regards to reviews and customer service. I really like how she responds to negative and positive reviews. If you'll notice the star rating with A. Pierce, they gave a 5-star rating, and she still chose to respond. Thanks for taking the time to let us know how we are doing. Don't forget about our semi-annual sale starting January 17th. This is great. This is free marketing. Once she leaves this review, it'll notify the person who left the star rating and remind them about the semi-annual sale. How awesome is this? Then she also takes the negative response. If you can notice, Molly Dudley made a 1-star rating and left a negative review. But she still put her plug in there for the semi-annual sale. A few other suggestions and best practices that she offers were to ask happy customers for reviews. Notice, ask, not buying, asking. If you already have a customer that's at your counter and raving and thanking you and just going on and on about how wonderful your store is and how great they are, ask them. Ask them to leave a review. A lot of times they will if you just ask and remind them. She has also found a lot of her reviews left over from the weekend, so she gathers them together and texts them out to her staff. Meets with her staff the same day to read through them and discuss ways they can improve. Other stores have also done this, where they have printed them out, attached them to the communication log, and had her staff review them the next day. So who can tell me what anticipation is? Give me the definition. This is the long version, but simply stated, it's failing to offer the customers what you market. So what are some of the disappointments our customers may experience? What about not paying cash? We offer them cash for spring and summer clothes, and then all we offer is store credit once they come in. What about we buy your stuff, and then they show up and we only take 5 items and then turn them away without educating them as to why? What about your store hours? Not open when you say you are, or not buying when you say you are? What about bad product? Not enough selection in specific sizes. That would be an anti-disappointment. What about we buy all, or we sell all rain gear in all sizes, and this is what they walk into? The bottom line is, we do not want to market to encourage increased traffic if the experience is going to be a disappointment for the customer. We need to deliver. What we represent online is what we need to deliver with an in-store experience. Okay, so now we've got your customers in the store. We've prepared for any anti-disappointments. Our racks are full and beautiful. Now, how do we win customers and influence our shoppers. And in what ways are we setting up our staff to have a day of success? Write out your monthly, daily goals, KPIs. Does your staff even know what those are? Update the monthly events and tasks needed to prepare. Keep your staff informed. Think about it. Every team member has a responsibility to know the game plan. They need to be checking the communication log each day as they begin their shift. Why is this important? This gives your staff something to aim for. Setting strong goals boosts the performance by motivating staff to increase their efforts. Once they know the goals and sales promotions, they are in a more informed position to help customers both on the floor and at the register. And it brings more positive energy to your team. Notice the place to record who does the floor sweeps. You'll see patterns of employees opting out. In order to see the value and to change this, you have to follow up. If there are roadblocks, what ways are you helping your staff to overcome those? What do they know? Do they know what to do? So let's kind of go through some of the rules of the floor sweep game. Sincerely engage with your customers. Be watching and aware of ways to assist your customers. Have meaningful comments as you pass customers. Teach and train your staff that as they take product out to the floor to be hung or set out the racks, that you have them come back a different direction, come up an aisle that has a customer that could use some assistance, or even just start to build the relationship as they approach their way back to the front counter. Have those meaningful conversations and comments. Share the item of the day. Compliment your customers. And most importantly, smile. And reward your staff for their efforts. When you see someone on your team having a positive impact with the customers and doing a really great job of those floor sweeps, reward them. And for every staff, it's different. Some staff do not like the public recognition and the public shout-outs, and some thrive on that. So make sure you know what your staff wants and what works best for them. It's different for every employee. When I was in the store, we had an employee that could care less about verbal recognition, but I found out very quickly that Reese's peanut butter cups were the trick. Every time Shauna and Amy would restock the candies, she would take a whole stack. She would buy them, but that is what she chose to snack on during the day. So when I knew that I needed her to do something, I offered or bribed Reese's peanut butter cups. Angel in K2K gives a great training example that she did a couple years ago to help her staff understand the importance of customer service and a way for her employees to put themselves in their customers' shoes. They all met and they took about between $5 to $10 each employee to shop the various stores in their area. The goal was for them to take in the experience as they shopped these stores and these restaurants, and they were to pay close attention to how they were treated, what their customer experience was like. Then they came back together and discussed what they experienced and ways they could implement those experiences in their store for their customers. They made a list of how they would set the bar for their team in regards to their customer services experience, and the outcomes were noticeable and positive. She saw her staff more motivated to help customers and get behind the flybys or their floor sweeps, and to get out from behind the counter. And then they had this posted in their break room for everyone to see and be accountable. I hope you're beginning to think of ways that you can meet with your staff and encourage and train for more positive customer experiences. Here's another activity that you could use with your staff. It shows the importance of listening to our staff and listening to our customers. So I'm going to tell you a story and you'll need to listen very carefully, but you can't take any notes. Once I finish telling you the story, I'll ask the question, and hopefully you'll get it right. If anyone knows the answer, don't tell. Keep it to yourself. Here's the story. You are the bus driver on the number 10 bus. At the first stop, 29 people get on. On the second stop, 6 of those 29 people get off. And at the same time, 10 new passengers arrive. At the third stop, 8 passengers get off. The bus is running a little early, so during 3 minutes, wait at the stop, 14 people and a dog get on. At the fourth stop, 12 passengers get off and 2 passengers get on. At the fifth stop, everyone gets off. So how old is the bus driver? If you guessed correctly, you are the bus driver. So the bus driver is as old as you are. So often we tend to concentrate on the numbers, the details, the efficiencies, which are important, but yet we fail to really hear what our staff or our customers are saying. It's easy to make assumptions about what you think your customer needs, especially if you've dealt with a lot of the similar sounding queries before, or you're not truly focused on what they're saying. We want to listen actively and ask the right questions to get to the root of their issues so we can fully understand their needs without being blinded by assumptions or unnecessary details. Listen to your staff's scripting. Listen to your staff's interaction with the customers. And are you leading by example with positive scripting? Everyone likes to be a winner. So let's go through some of the winning habits that owners and managers can have to ensure you have a winning team. Reviewing your nightly emails, your daily overview, or your sales on hand. This is where you can catch the correlation between great customer service on the floor and following through at the register with capturing customer info. These are a couple different snippets from different stores' sales on hands. Stores with high NTY rates have less than stellar customer experience. Why? Because they're not putting the effort into capturing the customer information and providing the overall customer experience. You want to make sure that your customer has that connection to your store and they are in the know as much as you are in the know about what's going on in your store. And how can we do that if we don't have their emails? Or if your staff hasn't explained the value to them in providing you those emails and experiences. I always tell my kids, and they roll their eyes, you can have excuses or you can have results, but you can't have both. It goes back to training. Are we encouraging and helping them to see the reason why these numbers are so important? It goes back to your goals. So check out your average daily invoice. Check out your UPT. Is there a pattern that you see over time where it's improving or getting worse? Maybe you can praise the staff and see if it consistently improves. Another number to look at would be under customer stats. Under customer stats, you can see the number of customers for the day. You can go to your BCC reports. Use these reports and numbers to set goals related to getting and retaining customers. On the BCC under customer comparison in the K2K, you can see the number of new customers. We know there is a connection to these numbers and how well we are treating our customers. Are we building relationships with our customers? How is your email collection? Reviewing the email collection also shows us the number, but also the employees with the most success and the employees that may need some more coaching. Do you know the percentage of your email collection? Why is this important? Let's take a look at the report from a store in mid-December. Here it shows that we have 19 new customers, but notice that 35 customers were not asked. That means there's no 1, 2, or 3 offered. To say that poor customer service affects your bottom line, just look at the numbers. The ADI for that day was 31, which is above the average. This is showing us that these customers that day were there to shop, and shop they did. You take those 35 customers that were not asked and take it by the ADI of the day of 31, you're going to get 1085 in sales. That's a huge number. This is a missed opportunity to make that money up in sales in the future. What will it cost to bring them back? Think about that. You spent the money to get them in your store. They came in, they shopped, and poof, they're gone. It seems kind of pointless. How much will it cost to get them back? Okay, so let's say $50. Is that worth working to get these emails collected? Better yet, to build those relationships? What are some of the roadblocks to making this happen? What training and coaching needs to take place, and who will take ownership? I go back to the rewards for the employees. The peanut butter cups. If I provide that for the employee to make sure she's collecting emails, I can guarantee you she will be more aware and on top of it. It's speaking her language. Another winning habit. What about your texting programs? Another franchise best practice is to offer and promote a text program and track your collections. These programs replace the frequent shopper paper cards and offer the digital points, and are a great way to reward your best customers with exclusive deals and discounts. We know that text has an average open rate of 98% compared to email at 10%. So if you could see the value in the emails, imagine the value in the texts. This also sends out auto texts for your customers who haven't been in a while. Look at the missed opportunities. This is an example similar to the email collection, but it's pulled from CityGrow texting program. This shows the comparison between the number of invoices for the month of October compared to the number of text kiosk sign-ins. The number of invoices for the month were 1717, and the number of sign-ins of that same month were 1167. That's 550 customers. Are we encouraging them to sign into the kiosk to earn their loyalty points? Are we staying in touch with them? How many texts are being sent each month? Make sure to not overdo it, suggesting only to send 2 or 3 a month. If this is not happening, what are the roadblocks? It's fair to say poor customer service is bad for your bottom line. There are incentive programs already in place in most of your stores, but it's helpful to go through some of these and make sure that your customers are aware, and most importantly too, that your staff is aware so that they can promote these. Now, it's too much for your staff to be able to offer all of these incentives at once, so maybe you can choose one that you will make sure to share with all of your customers. So maybe share one incentive a week, or maybe one incentive a month. Maybe you'll choose the Give and Get 5 for 1 month and focus on that incentive and continue promoting it. In K2K at Murfreesboro, the Give and Get 5 coupon was used, and they were able to create 11 new customers in 1 month, 3 of which came back and shopped the next month. What about the vendor savings pass? You decide what would qualify your customer to receive a vendor savings pass. Maybe you'll have a vendor that will come in with really, really great product, and you'll want to offer that savings and that gift to your customer or to your vendor. How many of you looked in the March and handing out your kids cash? For what you spend in March, they can redeem in April. It's a great way to encourage and thank our customers and get them back into our shop and back into our stores to shop. What about the Win a Disney Trip sweepstakes that will take place in June? When we are thinking of ways to give back to our valued customers, what better way than to send them to Disneyland? There are other ways many of you are providing great rewards and programs to show your appreciation to your customers and to let them know you value them and want to give back. After seeing some of the numbers in our winning habits, it's fair to say that poor customer service is bad for your bottom line. So don't be a loser. In what ways are your teams playing to win? So you know how in sporting events and championships they have replays. I thought I would share with you some of the replays of how the stores are playing their game. We'll be watching a live secret shopper. Take mental note of anything you should have done or done differently. Notice this is a secret shopper that has come in. This is her first time coming into the store to sell. You'll also want to be careful of the language that we use, especially with new customers. When we say buys or other things that we know what they mean, that doesn't necessarily mean the customer coming in. The new customer especially knows what it means. So we want to be very careful. And you'll notice she's not doing anything. Why can't she turn around and walk through this buy process and the procedures and what will take place instead of leaving her to read it on your own? You'll notice on the very last video that I'll share with you, there was some confusion at the buy station, and it would have been solved had she clearly taken the time to walk through and make sure that this customer understood what was going to happen. This is a great demonstration from a customer's perspective. Shows how our lack of engagement with our customer, low level of enthusiasm, no sense of urgency, and minimal to poor communication affects their whole experience. And pay close attention to her body language. Her tone is friendly, but she makes no eye contact or even looks at the customer while she is answering. Does she look like she's enjoying her job? I don't think so. Let's talk about body language. What are the customers saying to us non-verbally? I don't think this girl would even know because she didn't take the time to look up. But what are we passively telling our customers? I think she was telling her customer that she was not happy to be there and really could care less. This is when she has another question before her buy is done. I just want to scream, "Look up!" while you're talking to her. And the pointing, what is with the pointing? I could understand if you were super busy and helping other customers, but she isn't. Instead of pointing, offer to walk back with her and show her where they are. This is a missed opportunity to educate and sell the equipment. She probably could have sold her a bouncer had she taken the time to walk back with her and build that relationship. Do you see this in your own store? Have you had secret shoppers come to your store and see what your staff are doing? Now she completes the buy, and you can see the confusion that's created and could have been avoided had she helped her understand the process in the very beginning. Okay, I'm going to stop this right here. What happens after this is that she's shopping and she decides that she wants to buy something else. So she takes it to the counter back and says, I want to pay for this. And there's some confusion about, well, why didn't you take, store credit? And she's kind of confused, and so they makes this exchange where they take the money back, give her store credit, and then she buys the product on store credit. All of this could have been cleared up in the very beginning had she just taken the time to educate and help her. Now, it's understandable that the staff may be a little tired, maybe a little overwhelmed, but they can still take the time to educate their customers. Bring your A game. Smile and sincerely engage with your customers and educate them about the process and what they can expect, and then we need to deliver. Just like our videos I also have replay tapes. So let's listen to these phone recordings to see if they are playing with a winning hand. Was this a winning hand? Possibly. Let's check this store out to see if they're playing with a winning hand. So was this a winning hand? Possibly. I love that she gave specific directions as to their buy hours and what they may or may not take. Could have been a little bit more descriptive. So if you haven't done this before, call your stores, maybe even record it and play it back in a training to make sure that you know what your staff is sharing with your customers and how they can improve. Every team has the responsibility to know the game plan. So let's recap this game plan. Are we setting up our staff for success? Every interaction matters, every single one. Starting with your online presence, your in-store experience, and your phone etiquette. Educate and inform. When the whole team is up to date on what is happening, we can all work to make our customers' experience a winning experience. With sincere interactions and talking about current sales, promos, products, and upcoming events, we create more energy and excitement around the customers and the store. Know the products in your store. Floor sweeps. Sorry, we'll go back to setting our staff up for success. Now floor sweeps. Show versus tell. Enough with the pointing. Let's find ways to help our customers. Establish and maintain winning habits. Checking our daily overview from the night before. Track and follow up. Look for those missed opportunities and then act and train if necessary. Deliver to the customer what you market. And work with a sense of urgency. Keep the balance between being task-focused and customer-focused. Now, we all know or know of those people who are in sports. And right before they go out to a big game, you see a lot of jumping and talking and screaming and yelling, and you feel all this excitement, and they're pumping themselves up to go out and win and fight hard to win. So I hope that you can take all that you've learned this week and remind yourself and take all of this increased energy and enthusiasm back into your stores and win the game. Go team!